Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name is Raymon. It's been a while since my last video, how to install XCP-NG 7.6. I've received some comments and questions about how to install the extra hard disk, how to install the local ISO repository. So I just thought, hey, let's make a new video about how to install XCP-NG 8.1. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to install XCP-NG 8.1. I'm going to show you how to add a local ISO repository where you can upload your ISO image for your virtual machines. And I'm going to show you how to add extra hard disk. So without further ado, let's just get started. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is open our web browser. Go to the following website of xcpng.org. The links will be in the description. Click on the download button. Grab the latest ISO here. I have already downloaded this, so I'm going to continue to download Rufus. Let's go to the website of rufus.ie. Enter. Scroll a little bit to the bottom. And as you can see, there's a download section. And we're going to download Rufus 3.10. So I have already downloaded this as well. So I'm going to minimize this and go to the downloads folders. As you can see, I have Rufus 3.10 and I have the latest ISO of XCP-NG 8.1. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is plug in our USB drive. As you can see, my drive is labeled as volume F. So we're going to open Rufus. Yes. Wait for it to load. Let's double check that you are selecting your USB drive. The boot selection, we're going to click on select, go to our downloads folders and select the ISO of XCP-NG. Next thing we want to do is press start, write in ISO image mode, recommended, press OK. Warning, all data will be destroyed. OK. And we're going to wait for it to continue. I will speed up this process so it doesn't take too long. As you can see, it took around 3 minutes and 30 seconds to complete, so I'm gonna close it. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is minimize this. I'm going to install it to IDRAC. This will be the part in where you plug in your USB drive into your PC or server and boot it up from USB. I'm using IDRAC, so for me it's a lot simpler. I just can select it. So that's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to open my web page. I'm going to browse to my IDRAC, advanced, proceed. As you can see, I'm using a R520. Let's log in. Verify credentials. Wait for it to load. As you can see, it's off. I'm going to launch it. I want to keep this and click on it. Let's just minimize this. Take some time. I want to continue. And let's just run it. I'm going to run it. And as you can see, it's currently turned off. Okay, after that I'm going to map a CD or DVD. As you can see, browse. And let's scroll back to our downloads folder. Downloads. And as you can see, here's the ISO. We're going to double click on it and we're going to click on map device. The next thing I'm going to do is click on next on boot. I want to boot from the virtual CD or DVD or ISO. Let's just select that. The selected boot is a device for the next boot. Just press on OK. And the next thing we're going to do is power on the system. Let's do that. Are you sure you want to? Yes, I want to continue. Okay, I can hear it go on. I will speed up this process so it doesn't take too long. Okay, that took some time. As you can see, please select the key map you would like to use. I'm using the US keyboard. If you're using a different setup, this is the way you choose it. So I'm going to press enter. This setup tool can be used to install or upgrade. I'm not going to upgrade. I'm going to install a clean installation. So I'm going to press OK. Okay, I'm going to accept the EULA. As you can see, I only using one hard disk. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you how I add another hard disk, a 1 TB hard disk. So for this, I'm going to use the 237 GB SSD. Use AXT instead of LVM for local storage repository, block-based or file-based. So block-based means that if I'm making a VM from 200 GB, it's going to use 200 GB. If I'm going to use a file-based, it's going to mean I'm using a VM from 200 GB, but if the VM is only using 10 GB, I still can use 190 GB for some other machines. So instead, it's up to yourself what you want to use. I'm always using LVM because I don't want to get in trouble later when I make many VMs and suddenly one VM is using 500 GB and the other VMs will crash. So I'm going to use LVM. So I'm going to press OK. Please select the type of source you would like to use for this installation. I'm going to use local media. So OK. Please wait. Would you like to test your media? If you're using this in a production environment, verify. For this purpose, I'm going to skip it. Please specify a password of at least 6 characters for the root account. So this is important. So I'm going to use my password. And I'm going to press OK. Which network interface would you like to use for your connecting to the management server of your host? I'm using two, so I'm going to leave it at default. Please specify how the network should be configured for the management interface. If you want to use the DHCP, you can use it. I'm going to use a static one. And mine is going to be 168.1.254. Subnet is going to be 255.255.0. My gateway should be my modem. I'm not going to use VLAN. I will try to use that in another video. Okay. The host name, I'm going to set it to X. Let's just use test server. The DNS should be what you want to put it. I'm going to use the one from Google and press OK. Please select the geographical area. I am in Asia. I'm in Indonesia, in Jakarta. Let's find it. There it is, Jakarta. How should you the local time to be determined? I'm using manual time. The year is 2025 and it's 6. Yes. It's 1753. Yeah, that's correct as well. Okay. We have collected all the information required to install XCP-NG. Please confirm you wish to proceed. All data on the SDR will be destroyed. So I'm gonna fast forward this process because it's gonna take a while, especially because I'm using the virtual media. So it has to, the ISO is going from my computer to my server over the local network. So it's gonna take a while. I'm gonna fast forward this. So I will see you when it's done. Would you like to install any supplemental packs? No. Okay, the installation has complete. Just press OK and it will automatically reboot. Even this I will fast forward again. Okay, as you can see, we successfully installed XCP-NG 8.1. This is the home screen. We can find some stuff in here about management interface, virtual machine. We can reboot and shut down the server. What we're going to look at is the IP address. If you, during the setup, you installed with the DHCP, so automatically assigned an IP address from your modem or router, this is where you can find that IP address. So we're going to look at it. Mine is says 192.168.1.254. What we're going to do is install XCP-NG Center. So I'm going to minimize this, open a web browser, open a new tab and browse to the IP address of the XCP-NG server. So as you can see, welcome to XCP-NG 8.1. We have here Send Orchestra. I will make a new video about that, how to compile it and how you can use it as in the web browser. But for this video, I'm going to install XCP-NG Center. So we're going to click on Download. As you can see, version 220.04.00. We're going to go all the way to the bottom, and as you can see, we have here XCP-NG Center. I'm going to click on that and it's going to download. I already downloaded it, so I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to go back to my download folder and I'm going to click on the XCP-NG Center. Minimize this. Okay, I accept the terms in the license agreement. Yes. Install. Yes. And finish. So there's a new icon here. I'm going to double click on it. Wait for it to load. Would you like periodically check for internet for XCP-NG update or new version? Yes. Bring it back to the middle. Make it a little bit bigger. So the first thing we're going to do is add a new server. The server IP address in my case was 1254. Username is root, and then the password we gave during the install. And add. XCP-NG can remember login credentials. This is optional if you want to use it. I'm always using it, so I said make a new password, not the same as the XCP-NG, but a different, and okay. Okay, as you can see, we successfully connected. We have some tabs here about memory, storage, networking, NICs, GPU, console, performance, users, and search, DVD drives, local storage, and removable storage. What I want to do is I want to make a local ISO repository where we can upload our ISOs like Windows, Linux, so we can make our VM. So what we're going to do is I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to open a new web browser. I am going to download Putty. Let's click on here. You can download Putty here. Go a little bit to the bottom. And as you can see, we have the 32-bit or the 64-bit depending on you. I already downloaded this, so I'm gonna minimize this again. Go to my download folder, and as you can see, it's called Putty. Minimize this. And we're gonna connect to our server. 1, 2, 4, and press open or enter. Bring it a little bit back to the middle, a little bit bigger. I'm gonna log in as root, the password, and we're successfully connected. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a folder where we can upload our ISOs, and it will be later will be visible. Somehow it disconnected. And somehow it will be visible in here, so we can upload and see which ISOs we have uploaded. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a directory with the following command, mkdir, and we're going to make that in the var folder, opt, and I'm going to call it ISO, and we're going to press enter. So let's check if that folder is made. Var opt enter. Use the, and as you can see, this is the folder ISO. Now the next thing we're going to do is, because it's still it is still not visible in here, I'm going to use the following command to make it visible. So we're going to do press XESR dash create. I'm using tab to complete it. Name dash label is ISO. So that's going to be the name that is going to appear in here. Space type is ISO. Space device config location is /var /opt /ISO. Wait, let me make it a little bit longer. so it's more easier to see. Then we're gonna go device slash dash config legacy underscore mode is true, content type is ISO, and we're gonna press enter and just watch what happened over here. As you can see, we successfully created our local ISO repository. It's gonna give me the UUID of that repository. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna minimize this. I'm gonna click on ISO, and as you can see, there's still nothing inside. You can press on rescan, there's nothing inside. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna open our web browser again. We don't need this one anymore. This one we don't need also. We're gonna go and download WinSCP. Download and install WinSCP. I'm gonna go a little bit to the bottom. You can obtain your WinSCP from the download page. Click on this. Go a little bit to the bottom, and as you can see, we can click on this green button, download WinSCP. I already downloaded it as well, so I'm gonna minimize this. I'm gonna go back to my downloads folder, and as you can see, here it is. Minimize this all. Install for all users, recommended, yes. Yes. I am accepting. Typical installation, okay. Commander type, next, and install. Okay, wait for it to finish. I'm not opening, and finish, and it's gonna open. A little bit back to the window. Okay, we're gonna connect 192.168.1.254. Gonna connect with our username root and the password, and we're gonna go login. We're gonna accept this, yes, and as you can see, we're successfully connected. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to go to my let's go here and go back to our download folder, because I already downloaded ISO of Windows 10. I'm going back to the root directory. I'm going to go to var, where we created our ISO. Go to the folder opt, and as you can see, here is the folder ISO. And I'm going to drag this one all the way to here. And I'm going to say OK. And this will take some time, so I'm going to speed up this process. As you can see, that took some time. The file is successfully transferred. Let's minimize this and go back to our XCP-NG Center. As you can see, there is still nothing inside. All we are got to do is press on rescan. And as you can see, it successfully appeared. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make, I'm gonna add my 1 terabyte hard disk for space for the VMs. So I'm gonna go back to Putty. I'm gonna clear up this. I'm gonna use the following command: fdisk min L. Oh, fdisk min L. Okay, so the following command will list all the hard disks we currently have. As you can see, the SDA is the main hard disk. That's my SSD of 265 gigabytes. The next one is the SDB. This is the one I want to add. As you can see, it's 1 terabyte. And what's important is this piece. So to add this hard disk, let me put it a little bit to here. I'm going to use the following command: sxe sr create, and the content dash type is user device as config column device is, and now I'm gonna point at the hard disk we're trying to add. In this case, it's gonna be this. So dev slash sdb space host dash uuid is, and then we're gonna use tab again to autocomplete. As you can see, that's my uuid. And then we're gonna go name slash label is, and this is where you're gonna put a name so you can recognize this. For my sake, it's gonna be hdd.1db. Okay, shared is false, and then we're gonna go type is axt. So let make it a little bit small, and then just watch what's gonna happen in here. So we're gonna press enter. It's gonna take a while, and as you can see, it's getting created and it's giving me back the UUID. So we have successfully created our first HDD 1 terabyte drive. I will leave the commands in the video description. The next thing I want to do is create a new virtual machine. So I'm gonna click on new VM. I'm gonna click on Windows 10. I'm gonna name it Windows 10. You can use any name you want. I'm gonna click on next. Install from ISO library or DVD drive. I'm gonna use the ISO we just uploaded. The boot mode, do you want to use BIOS or UEFI? So I'm gonna use BIOS. Click on next. Place this VM on this server. Yes, next. Number of virtual CPUs, I'm gonna use 4. That's up to you what you want to use. The RAM I'm gonna use at 4. Next. I don't have a GPU installed, so I'm gonna click next. Use these virtual disks. So we're gonna use an edit, and as you can see, we can place it on our 1 terabyte disk or on our main hard disk. I'm gonna leave it at my main hard disk because it's an SSD. For this video, it's a lot faster. Here you can use the name. I'm gonna use it at Windows 10. 50 gigabytes should be okay. Press OK. Press on next. Now we can choose which network card we want to add. I'm just gonna delete, delete, and delete. Just keep it on the 1. Click on next and create now. So this is gonna take a while. As you can see, it's gonna load in here. After that's completed, we should see it up here. We're gonna click on it, Windows 10, and we're gonna go to console. Let me see if I can scale it, if it's not looking worse. Let's see what's happened. As you can see, it took a while to install. We finally completed the installation. Let me redock this first. Yes, let me click this. Okay. And as you can see, we have a fully working Windows 10 installation. Okay, that's going to be it for this episode. In the next episode, I'm going to install guest tools for this Windows installation. I'm going to show you where you can download it. And I'm going to install Zen Orchestra. Zen Orchestra is the web-based XCP-NG Center. I'm going to show you how to compile it by yourself. So yeah, I will hope to see you in the next episode. If you did like this video, please leave a like, comment, and if you want to subscribe, subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you.